If squatting hurts your arthritic knee, it is easy to reach one conclusion: squats must be bad for my knee. But that's usually not the most useful conclusion. A better conclusion may be, this version of squatting is currently asking more from my knee than it can tolerate and recover from. Because the squat is not one exercise. You can change the support, depth, stance, body position, resistance, repetitions, speed, and recovery time. Every time you sit down, stand up from a chair, or lower yourself toward the toilet, you are using some version of a squat. So the goal is not to avoid the movement forever. The goal is to find a version your knee can tolerate, repeat and recover from, and gradually progress. First, test your current squat before changing anything. Perform about 5 controlled repetitions. Squat towards a chair and hold a stable surface if needed. Does your movement become less controlled? Do you begin shifting away from the leg? And how does the knee respond later that day and the following morning? Then use this process. Change one variable. Repeat the squat, compare the response, keep the change if it helps. Discard it if it does not. Modification 1. Add support. Start by holding a countertop, railing, or suspension strap. A light touch may improve your balance and confidence without substantially changing how much work the legs are actually performing. Actively using your arms gives you more assistance and can reduce how much body weight the knee must manage. Use enough support to create a controlled, repeatable movement. As the knee becomes stronger and more tolerant, gradually reduce how much you use. Modification 2. Reduce the depth. Depth is one of the most useful ways to change the squat's difficulty. As the knee bends farther, the demand placed on the quadriceps and knee joint generally increases. That does not mean deeper squats are damaging. It means they are a larger dose. Try squatting towards a higher chair or box. Find the deepest position you can control without producing unacceptable responses. Once that depth becomes predictable, you can gradually lower the target. Depth should be earned through progression, not forced during one session. Modification 3. Change your trunk and shin positions. Staying more upright and allowing your knees to move farther forward usually places greater demand on the knee extensors. Sitting the hips slightly farther back and allowing a modest forward trunk lean can shift more of the demand toward the hips and trunk. If the front of the knee is sensitive, try sitting back slightly more while maintaining pressure through the whole foot. Remember, your knees moving forward over your toes is not inherently dangerous. Reducing that demand may help now. Gradually rebuilding it may help you tolerate stairs, lower chairs, and deeper squatting more later though. Modification 4. Experiment with stance and foot position. Begin with your feet around hip to shoulder width apart. Allow the toes to turn out naturally rather than forcing both feet perfectly straight. Then make small experiments. Try moving the feet slightly wider. Try a small change in toe angle. Change one variable and repeat your 5 repetitions. Does the movement feel smoother? Does the familiar discomfort decrease? And does the knee respond better afterward? Those answers are more useful than trying to manufacture one theoretically perfect stance. Modification 5. Consider your ankle position. Sometimes the knee is not the only limitation. If your ankle feels stiff, you may struggle to keep the heel down or maintain your balance as you descend. A small heel lift may make the squat feel more smooth and allow you to remain more upright. But a heel lift often permits more forward knee translation, which can increase the demand placed on the knee. Keep it only when it improves the overall response. Modification 6. Adjust the complete dose. The exercise dose is not just the amount of weight. It also includes the depth, the repetitions, the sets, the speed, the amount of support, and how often you perform the exercise. Use 3 checkpoints. During the squat, mild and acceptable discomfort may be reasonable when it remains stable. Modify the exercise when symptoms increase with each repetition, the movement becomes increasingly guarded, or you cannot maintain control. Later that day, pay attention to swelling, stiffness, any limping, or difficulty with your usual activities. A small, temporary response does not automatically mean you damage the knee. The following morning, compare the knee with its usual baseline. But when the same exercise repeatedly leaves you clearly worse the following day, the current dose is probably more than your knee can recover from. Do not necessarily abandon the squat though. Reduce one variable. Use more support, decrease the depth, perform fewer repetitions, lower the resistance, or allow more recovery time. Then retest it. Changing one variable at a time makes it easier to understand how your knee responded. And remember that modifications are usually a bridge, not a permanent destination. But over time, the goal may be to tolerate greater depth, less support, more forward knee movement, and more resistance. The goal is not to find the hardest squat you can survive today. It is to find repeatable work your knee can recover from and gradually build upon. So instead of asking, are squats good or bad for knee arthritis, ask, which version of the squat, at what depth, load, volume, can my knee tolerate and recover from right now? That question gives you control. For more help understanding knee arthritis symptoms, exercises, and progressions, download the free knee arthritis recovery roadmap linked below. Clearer rehab, smarter recovery.